Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 1911A1 here with the Shade Tree Survivalists. What you're looking at here are two 1911s, the frames disassembled so I can show you something very important in case you have a problem in the future and you have a broken ejector. This is the Auto Ordnance 1911A1 GI style. It has the original short GI style ejector, and all that is a flat blade of steel. Okay, you can see where it's mounted to the the left side of the frame. Okay, the gun's pointing at you. This is it right here. Okay, and what it does as the slide goes to the rear, I'll make sure this camera's focusing. The base of the cartridge bumps that like that. And the extractor's over here on this side pulling, and it just knocks it out. The momentum of the slide and the spent case is what causes that. Now, let me move this out of the way. This is a range officer, okay? It has a more modern style. It starts the ejection process a little earlier because of its little extended hook right here. And I've got to wipe it down. I mowed grass with it yesterday and it's filthy as hell anyway, so it's a great opportunity to show you guys. So if for some reason the ejector decides to come loose and you decide to order one, number one, these are made, they're different if it's a 45 ACP or a 9mm/38 Super. So you need to be aware of that. There's a difference in size, and so you need to have that. But there also, if you have a newer, more modern gun with a lowered and flared ejection port, this here is the type you need or can use. And if you have the original narrow style, you'll need one like this. Now the next thing I'm going to compare between the A1, the more modern A1 configuration of the range officer and the old World War II type A1 is the ejection port. And let's see if there's a difference, and if there's not, I'll go get the original 100-year-old Colt and show you guys the differences. All right. Okay, can you see the differences? Okay, the Springfield Armories has been lowered, and it has the little flare right here. The Auto Ordnance does not. It stops just below this ridge here on the side of the slide, and at the rear it hasn't been flared out any. So that is correct for the gun, the type of gun it's trying to recreate. Trying to get this daggum camera to focus on everything. Boy, these cameras are a freaking nightmare, folks. I just want you to know that. So that's another difference between a modern A1 and a World War II A1. Just, you can see the ejection port is much bigger. If you put that type of ejector with the little nose on it, okay, if you put that type of ejector on one with this small ejection port where it starts ejecting early, you are going to have problems. Maybe not with the spent rounds, but definitely with live cartridges. It will not do that. That may have been the problem you were having, Fester. That newer Springfield Armory, they may have put that on there inadvertently when it should have had the shorter GI ejector so that it would clear. See, that's the thing. You've got a 100-year-old gun. It's been used in competition, combat, police forces, and everything in between, and people monkey with it, and they screw around with the original design, and either they can improve it somewhat if but if you change one thing, you've got to change something else. Because if you change that and don't flare that out, like on this slide, you're just asking for trouble. Okay, so those are two of the differences that you'll find in the A1, the original style A1 and the more modern style A1. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, you guys haven't seen any ejection problems with this gun. What you saw is the slide lock. You know, the bullet nose was bumping it just a touch, and that was it. We got it squared away, and the gun is perfectly fine. The ergonomics of more modern guns, such as with the thumb safety, may be a touch better, and you can get a bit of a higher grip with the modern beaver tail, but I don't really think it's enough to harm anything one way or the other. But like I said, you got to you know, if you change one part, you need to be absolutely specific with the manufacturer of the part or the dealer to find out. And all you have to do, there's a little pin right here. You drive that out and it just pops right out. And when you put a new one in it, you have to fit it, because the peg doesn't have the little slot for that pin to be able to slide through and to pin it. Now, a lot of the more modern manufacturing, they're saving money and they just glue it. I'm not going to glue it. It'll be correct, or I'm not going to waste my damn time with it. But yeah, that's a tiny, tiny little bitty pin in there. But anywho, that's another little bit of a tidbit of information for you guys out there. And I hope, like I said, I hope this series is very helpful, because that's the whole point of it. I wanted to be to be as helpful as possible, so that people who are ignorant about it, not stupid, but ignorant, they just don't know, they don't have the resources that I have spent a lot of money on. Okay, I have this is book 2. This is a complete assembly guide, and I also have book 1, the complete owner's guide. These two here, ladies and gentlemen, if they ban our channels, they do anything like that, buy these. If you have an AR-15, buy these. There's 2 of them. The complete owner's guide and the complete assembly guide, they're absolutely invaluable. If you have an M14, same deal. If you have an M1 Garand, same deal. Okay, and it seems like they've got more books on the way out, but I'm telling you, they tell you what to do and what not to do. They're worth every freaking penny.